What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd and I'm back with some more Age Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map in the blue color, playing as Zeus. The name says I bring you life, but I tell you this, I know some things. This is not I bring you life. This is Shelty, the one, the only. There's a fabulous video on YouTube of him. I'm not sure if it's what it's actually called, but Ninja Warrior, need I say more? His partner today in the teal color playing as Uranus. His name is Gold Lion. Their opponents today in the red color playing as Uranus is Chemo. And in the green color playing in the Isis. No, in the green color playing as Isis. His name is Joe. The map is Ghost Lake. And I'm not sure what exactly this was, but it's a no patch game. And what no patch means is highly randomized maps, like super randomized. You might find some crazy things happen. So you have to adapt quite a bit. And there can be a lot of map screws, a lot of crazy shenanigans that happen here, which does make for some very interesting games. And I think the players all went Random God, though it really doesn't look like they went Random God when it's Uranus, Zeus, Isis. Maybe Joe went Random God, but Isis in no patch, very strong God, completely unnerfed. The only thing that an Isis player might want better for herself or unnerfed is the reduced age up times from Nilla no patch. Bring us back to the glory days. Am I not right, Joe? Yes, maybe. Who knows? But like I said, Isis on no patch, quite strong. We'll see. You don't have access to Anubis though. Anubis isn't a god in no patch for Isis, so you have to go fast. If you're going Anubis, you're sort of trolling in no patch, just because it's pretty weak. Okay. Now, Zeus, on the other hand, if we go back to the things that were strong for Zeus, is two-shot villager kills with the centaur. So really, really strong centaurs. Really, really strong restoration as well. Really, really strong Forge of Olympus. And a ridiculously strong Bellerophon. So those are the main things which Zeus is going to have back. So it doesn't really matter what classical god Shelty goes this game, but I imagine Apollo will be fairly standard behind it with a Hephaestus. Hera is a little bit weaker as well, I think. The Lightning Storm not quite as strong as in 4.0. At least that is my recollection of it. I might be wrong. It might be strong. I can't remember. Anyways, we've got Gold Lion playing Uranus. Now, Uranus also has some things that are stronger and also weaker in no patch. So you get the full 5-second stun from shockwave, which basically means you win 3 fights. So 3 fights you win against a normal army. So very, very strong in that regard. Satyr a bit weaker, so probably not going to go, and Chaos is a bit weaker as well, so probably not going to go those gods. Prometheus is, I think, roughly the same. Can't remember too much more about that. Titan Age is back to 60-second advance time, so fast Titan's a little bit stronger. Shelty's still not advancing here. We will be seeing Prometheus coming through for Chemo as well. Actually, a little bit late for Chemo. Very late for Chemo, actually. Looks like he must have had an unfortunate... Yeah, he had his wood here, which blocked his food on this location. And honestly, if Shelty wanted to go max abuse, which he is going here, it's a little bit late. He could, and he's scoured. He could have gone for this early Jason to harass this food here. And not only that, he can grab the hardest volley as well. Not the best relic, but it's there to be grabbed on the way to harassing those Atlantean villagers. And he's going to be making his way forward and then advancing to the next age. We still don't have Joe advancing, going very late as well, as he is hunting away up here. We do see the Oracles making their move in, and Joe does see this. He wants to get a little bit of damage onto them before they get valid and hit this location. Gold Lion does not care here. He wants to Oracle hero these with the Valor. They're going to be moving in and pushing the villagers off that caribou. There's only, well, probably like 3.5 left with the 2 dead caribou there. So not the biggest loss, but it does hurt just a little bit. Going to be moving back to his home base here. If we check out here, we do have the boar that was up here that Joe missed. This was another thing that happened in No Patch Ghost Lakes quite a bit. Boars would come up onto this location here, onto the cliffs quite a bit, and you can get these little slivers of cliffs that are like this big, and then a boar right at the end of them sometimes. Very funny, but very frustrating at the same time. We are seeing that while this is going on, Joe trying to sneak this boar here, but it has been spotted by Gold Lion, getting the small victories here, and we are seeing Bastards on the way. Meanwhile, Jason pushing these Promethean offspring back. Odysseus on the way, and Hermes is the god of choice, going for the Sylvan Law. Going to be moving forward and hitting some stuff. I think the special ability does bonus damage against also human units as well. Just in general, it's overall stronger. I don't think that I think they nerfed it in for everything, not just villages, but I could be wrong. Joe going through Bast here. You do see that the forward tower looks like it's going to be taken down. This tower is defending very, very little here. Joe's base, very defensive. It is a 1 gold mine Ghost Lake. It's very, very defensive. He's got a nice tower here with temple and everything else. So losing this this tower doesn't matter too much. We are seeing a house coming up over here, so it looks like Joe's trying to block this off as much as he possibly can. And the Sphinx should be used to be sent forward and find something. We do see a manor on this location, which Joe could jump into to defend himself. But there is 5 villages and 1 citizen, so you can only put 5 units inside of that. We are seeing the Sphinx making his way forward. The priest trying to hit this off, and we do see Joe changing his mind about what he wants to do here. And he's grabbing a second town center here. There's a lot of goat here, so he should be fine. But I don't think he's gathered any wood just yet. There's no lumber camps, so that's no husbandry for him. We are seeing Chemo repelling this raid here. That's going to allow Joe to continue hunting on this location. There's also berry bushes as well. So that's fairly useful for himself there. And Joe's town center's up. We do see the Gold Line's grabbing a second town center with these beautiful caribou on top of it. You do not see this very often. Actually, you do see it a little bit in 4.0, so I'll take that back. You can get hunt spawning on your town center. And Shelty grabbing his town center as well here. Sylvan Law's out. The villagers under attack. Chemo actually going to be losing a citizen here, not paying attention. That's got to hurt. Big win. Normally you don't get those picks there as Zeus with the centaurs. And the centaurs do pick off 1 villager there. Max value. The priest gets a lot of damage done onto that centaur before the centaur finding another location to be raiding. We do see a bunch of villagers on top of this lumber camp here. We will be seeing Joe grabbing his... he's getting flooded. I don't think he's gotten husbandry just yet. He needs to get that as soon as possible because he's grabbing a lot of herdables. Nice snipe there yet again by the centaur. And as you're seeing, as this game is continuing, the reason why centaur were nerfed is 2 centaur get so much value. And he's going to be searching for more of that. He's got 2 groups of centaur as well, so he can hit the top, hit the bottom at the same time, getting multiple different villager pickoffs as the game continues here. Chemo moving forward with the Murmillo hero. Looking for something to do here. It's looking like... I don't think that looking inside the base of an Uranus player is not so good. Just because there's always going to be something nearby. This hit up here was much better. Shockwave having to be used to keep that villager alive. A little bit too far away from the manor. We are going to be seeing the centaurs joining forces up here. Can actually snipe some Uranus units because there's no heroes here. But Shelty not paying attention to that one. Potentially could come up and one hit that villager. I'm not sure. It might be 5 centaur in order to do that. We are seeing Shelty almost losing 1 centaur. He's down to 2 HP there. But we are seeing the Gold Lion units moving forward, ready to start harassing as everyone's coming up to 2 town centers. Chemo going for the 3 town centers, though. The same thing for Gold Lion, as both of them can be booming very, very nicely here in this game. Now Chemo trying to cut off the path here. And Shelty's just like, yeah, I'm not going to leave that way. We're going to move this bottom way here. And the Centaur's easily going to dodge all of those javelin spears there. and continue searching around. I'm not sure if this has any way through. Yeah, there's no way through that. And I don't think Chemo knows about it either. So he's actually going to be able to sneak back out this way. Cheeky move there from Shelty. Still pumping out those centaur, I think. Yes. Still hasn't made a single cavalry. He may just want to jump straight to the next age here, spamming out nothing but villagers. I don't think he's under any threat, as Gold Lion's getting a lot done over here. Pushing in, pushing that Pharaoh back. Looks like the villager's going to attempt to prevent these units from getting out, and he will be able to do so, as we see Joe hitting the heroic age through Nephthys. The villagers path blocking here, trying to get that granary down, but they do not manage to do so. But not a single villager died there, except Gold Lion losing a lot of units as he pushed in. So big win there for Joe. Shelty running straight through this location here. A little bit unfortunate. Loses that centaur that was low HP, as the Jason and the Odysseus deciding to duel these Murmillo hero. And they're deciding to retreat after that. We do see some farms getting thrown down here for Shelty. And Joe moving forward, going to put up his Migdol stronghold. Look at all of these hero Murmillo here. And Shelty just happily trading for a little bit there, but deciding when his Jason is 32 HP remaining to retreat. Probably could have just kept fighting and maybe traded the Jason for a Murmillo hero. It's actually technically worth it, even though they're free. Costs 100 food. Needs to pick off the low HP one. Again, turning around. Getting some weird decisions here. Not 100% sure. Joe's Migdol stronghold has been denied. And Joe's looking like he's about to be gold starved here. And the Odysseus does get picked off as well. Now, Shelty making a move forward. They realize how important this is. This gold mine is the only one that Joe has access to. There is a gold mine up the top, which you could potentially go to, but both the Oracle heroes sitting there, keeping an eye on that. Meanwhile, Joe moving back in, going to attempt to get this town center up. If Shelty micros this correctly, he can pick off 3 villages here instantly. Huge shockwave from Gold Lion, though. 5 seconds of idle time here on these villages, as Shelty going to be retreating back into the back of this fight with his centaur. Gold Lion taking the brunt of the fight here, but the centaur not taking much damage at all. The villagers do manage to get out of there. Chemo with the Terma in the back of the fight here, doing a lot. But it's looking like Shelty able to hold on into this fight, but he is deciding to retreat here. He does not need to. Once these Hero Murmillo fall, this fight goes very heavily in the favor of Shelty. We see the Gold Lion hitting the Rock Age through Thea. We do have more Hero Murmillo coming in here, though. That is going to be an issue. We need Gold Lion to bring over his own Murmillo to deal with those if those Centaur want to stay put in this fight. But it's looking like Chemo and Joe are going to be able to hold here for the time being. The villagers onto the Migdol stronghold, finally able to get it up with that Migdol being on 100 HP for a short amount of time there. We do see the Centaur still trying to pick off Chemo units, but there are no real heroes here. Well, there's one hero Terma, and as soon as that gets in here, Shelty does decide to retreat, as Joe gets all of these villages, 19 villagers onto this Migdol stronghold, going to attempt to grab this mining camp. But even if he gets this up, this is still an avenue for Shelty to hit with his centaur if he wants to here. Can just move in, hit some villages, move out, rinse, repeat. Very frustrating to deal with. Meanwhile, we've got forward military barracks up for Gold Line, spamming out the Murmillo. Surprised to see him not switch into Contarius here, now that he realizes he's probably dealing with a Migdol-based army of Joe. Those Murmillo, not so good against Chariot Archers and Axemen. But if you go Contarius, or even Arcus Destroyer here, works very, very nicely indeed. But it's not the choice just now by Gold Lion. And we do see Shelty, as expected, going through Apollo, throwing up a third town center. He's going to be on... Oh, I can't do it. I can't do Control A in this. He's going to be on his way to the Mythic Age very soon. Like I said, that Forge of Olympus, if we take a look at it, 75% minus on the army upgrade cost, but it does cost 60 favor. 75% is huge. So we'll see... We'll see. Hopefully, Shelty remembers that's how much it costs. He does have 3 villagers on the favor, and he's about to click up, and you can see he's not producing any military units as he realizes he's got no pressure on him at the moment. So he doesn't have to worry about anything. And Gold Line can just keep pushing in here and forcing Chemo to be on here. And this means that Shelter's going to move in with Myrmidon with fully upgraded units in like at 17 minutes, I guess, is my expected time for Shelty to be like fully upgraded with crazy strong units, and then it's an underwall passage into the back of the town centers, and it's lights out for Chemo and Joe unless they can make something happen here. They do have an Ancestors Eclipse that can hit some sort of a timing onto Shelty. And meanwhile, Shelty's deciding to make a move forward. We do see Chemo moving forward with his citizen, deciding against it. And we do have Hephaestus coming through. 8 villagers on the favor, trying to push that up as fast as possible. Hyperion getting cast down onto this location here. As those heroes, or those myth units get, well, the centaur gets picked off and the Hippocon get converted. But Shelty should be happy with this. He should just be building infantry units now. More military academies coming out. More armories coming down. He's getting those out at this point. We're seeing the favor coming through. Hephaestus just about to pop. And then that's going to be Bellerophon Micro. If you've ever seen top players using a 5-second jump unit, such as the Anubite in 4.0, it looks very similar with the Bellerophon, except the Bellerophon does real damage with the jump. It can do a lot of damage indeed. And we see the units popping up. One issue that we are noticing that Shelty is about to run into is that he doesn't have any gold. So he may have to use a ceasefire here in order to just... Well, it doesn't matter at this point. If he uses a ceasefire, he gets full population, he's totally fine. We do see that Hyperion did actually get picked by Chemo. And honestly, he got lucky that he hit the myth unit with his chaos, because it's only a 50% chance for it to happen. Meanwhile, Hephaestus comes through. Forger Olympus is coming through as well, and we're going to see a 38 food, 38 gold copper weapons to be coming through for Shelty. Meanwhile, Gold Lion hits Helios here for the Uranus, and we see an Ancestors Eclipse coming down in this position. That's very smart from Joe. That's incredibly smart, because that means that Shelty's going to be pushed off this gold mine, can't ceasefire. And that's going to mean that, well, there's no real economy for Shelty to be using here. So Chemo's going to have to pick off a town center or something like that and control this gold. This is going to be vitally important. So if Chemo can hold this location, he will be able to get a lot of damage done onto Shelty. But Bellerophon is on the way, and maybe that is all that is needed here at this point. There's not really that many human units, so the archers don't do a lot of damage to him. And we've also got those economic upgrades. Oh, it's only 50. I must be remembering incorrectly. 50 food, 50 gold. A little bit more expensive. Maybe a small nerf to it was did happen. And there's the Bellerophon coming in, and we are seeing Chemo getting pushed back, as Shelty has got all of the units he needs to right now, and he's getting out those armory upgrades. Still a lot of villagers on favor here, so potentially going to be looking to make a bunch of Colossus here as well. Let's see if that matters or not. Surprised to see Shelty still making hoplites here, as Myrmidon definitely a lot stronger. You see the Vortex getting used onto this location here, so the Tartarian gate gets put into Gold Line's base. The Gold Line defending this very, very nicely with Hecagigantes here. This unit does so much damage because it does an extra 100% damage and attack, I think, or 200% damage versus infantry and myth units, but does 2 attacks at once. So the damage is, I don't know. Well, I don't know how the unit works. Basically, 25 damage is not how much it does. It does a lot more than that. Meanwhile, Joe is ready to start moving forward. Bellerophon is still jumping around, doing its things, getting the damage done. And now back onto this gold mine. He's got 25 gold. Where's his villagers at? Oh, he's got this gold mine in the back here, so this position didn't even matter at all. Decent upgrades for Shelty, but at this point it doesn't matter, as his armory upgrades are starting to become crazy. Still no Colossus being built, which is surprising. And Joe and Gold Lion still back and forth at this point, but Joe's got a lot of chariot archers, and this is why I was a bit peculiar as to why Gold Lion was still going Mermillo here when he could have been making Contarius. And now we've got Shelty making the push through with these unupgraded hop plats here, but against the heavy unupgraded, unarmor upgraded units, it's going to be fine for him. And Bellerophon picked off, like going to be making his way back into the fight as soon as possible here. Shockwave being used onto these heavy chariots. We do see the mummy picking off some of the archers here. Chariot archers retreating back. Gold Lion hasn't actually found any sort of... Oh, yeah, he does have 4 town centers here. So he has an advantage, but he hasn't really shut Joe down. But Joe's just about to be out of gold here, I think. Yes, he's about to be out of gold on that gold mine. So that's going to be tough. 500 gold left in it. Meanwhile, Shelty defending against Chemo. Chemo's still getting some value done. But basically... Still not making the upgrades for his unit. Still not making Myrmidon. And this is just Arcus here for Chemo. So Colossus would be huge if you could get them out, but Shelty's just not going that way. Not going that way for the Colossus, even with the 100+ favor. Now remember, we still have a ceasefire here as well. If he wants to use it, we just have some Colossus trying to push through here, but with the Fire Siphon coming out, I think Fire Siphon are not as strong in no patch as in 4.0 as well. But they are relatively strong still. They're still siege weapons, so they can take down a building eventually. Meanwhile, Son of Osiris is going to be taking them down very easily. And Chemo not able to make much progress over here on this location. The other option for Shelty here is just to build a fortress and make some Heliopoli. And then this just does nothing. These Arcus don't stop your push. And the Heliopolis actually do quite a bit of damage as well. Meanwhile, where's the Son of Osiris? He has popped out. Getting targeted down by the Dryads. The Fire Siphon just about to pick off the Migdol Stronghold. As he lives long enough to take it down, it looks like. And the Son of Osiris should take some more damage. More Arcus coming in onto this location here. You can always Vortex on top of the Son of Osiris if he's ever far away from a garrison point. And it's looking like Hero is sort of managing to push forward here as, like, well, Shelty's run out of gold. And he should just use Ceasefire at this point. He should just use Ceasefire. Get the gold mine. Get the upgrades. The upgrades come in. These Arcus fall to this army. You'd be totally fine. We are seeing some Colossus coming out now. There is a small trade route for Shelty, it looks like. It's in a pretty bad spot, but he does have the full map here, so it doesn't matter. Chaos getting used. Oh, another lucky Chaos. It is what it is, though. And we are seeing Gold Lion vortexing onto this spot. Obviously, he sees the need to come here, and maybe Joe, if he has some siege out, he doesn't have any siege weapons. So he can't push back on this location, and there's a lot of palace here to get taken down. Meanwhile, the Arcus from Gold Lion going to push back. And we do see an Underworld onto the back here, hitting the trade route of Joe. I love this play from Shelty, sending the... we should send the Hoplite forward here, which he is doing to take down the guard towers. The Colossus needs to get baited out of here and brought into Chemo's base, but hasn't happened just yet. Still not... Well, there's some more Colossus coming out for Shelty. And look at these camel caravans just getting torn apart by the Toxotes. And Joe is making mercenary cavalry from his hometown center to deal with this. You see some Secrets of the Titans coming for Gold Lion, so it's a minute away now. As Gold Lion pushing in onto Chemo here. And actually, this is the only gold for Chemo as well. So this gold actually matters a lot here for both players. So picking off the villagers for Chemo is going to hurt so much here. As the Hoplite just... Well, I mean, there's nothing here to stop them. And they do so much damage now. 10.4. We're seeing Shelty going to be retreating, but there's no real units that can take this out at this point. I mean, yes, there's the Lampade, which does some extra damage, but it's not that much at all. So Shelty can just move in with his army now. He's even got a Colossus here. He has to retreat away from the Lampade, but once the Lampade gets taken out, should be totally fine. He's going to take out the Son of Osiris as well. He does manage to pick off the Son of Osiris. The Lampade still alive though. We do see a shockwave trying to keep that alive. The Lampade moves forward, not focusing down the Colossus just yet. And he doesn't have the special though. And there it is. He'll be turning that Colossus into a Chaos. But the Colossus moving onto that Pharaoh there. There's the Titan Gate coming down now. As we are seeing that the villagers getting pushed off the gold mine yet again. As Chemo is able to hold on to that location. And while this is all going on, it's looking like Chemo and Joe able to hold on. Taking down the underworld passage. Completely fine here. Seeing the Arcus, the Fanatics moving forward. Attempting to pick off some villagers, but not happening just yet. As he's still trying to get gold. Still not seeing the upgrades coming through for Shelty. And as this is all going on, Goldline is making a push into the main base of Joe. He doesn't have the siege out though. He does have a couple of Hecagigantes. There's no real answer to that. Looks like the temple's down, so no mummies either. There is a Pharaoh here, but that can get sniped very easily by the Arcus as Joe is trying to micro this as best as he can, jumping in and out of the town center. The Arcus just need to focus it one time and he will fall. He's such a low HP unit. Meanwhile, more buildings getting taken down here. See a bolt getting cast onto that Lampade there. There's the palace going down very, very fast, but looks like the Colossus has no upgrades, so it's not able to stay alive here. Gigantes trying to run around, but not really finding a path. Needs to maybe take out the houses or something, and it's looking like Goldline still not able to make progress here. Bellerophon back out yet again. Some pacifists getting made now. Like I said, this fortress should have been made about 10 minutes ago for a Heliopolis. But it hasn't happened, and now it's out. Now the Heliopolis are going to be coming. It's going to be really difficult for Chemo to deal with it. We do have some Fanatics out, but with the Hippaspis, maybe it's fine. How's the upgrades? We've got full bronze for Chemo, obviously full iron. Almost full iron for Shelty. Why would you not? Oh, there it is. It's coming out. 150, 150. Very cheap upgrade. And Shelty's just short military buildings now, I think. Wouldn't even be a bad idea to make some Hippocon here. Just while he doesn't have the military buildings, but... the units are coming out. Looks like the fortress does get taken down with only one Heliopolis out, but... see if it matters or not. And while we're seeing some guard tower pushes here, catapult's already out, and Joe's just holding for days here. We see the Titan Gate coming through. I don't know if he has the economy to build it though. Joe's economy's got to be struggling here. He's got a lot of camel caravans though. Not a lot of wood income though. Oh, he's got sort of a lot of wood income. Titan Gate coming down now, but Goldlines is 90% finished now. Not sure he's ever going to be able to get over to kill this, but he will get some damage done, that's for sure. Meanwhile, more Colossus coming in onto this location here. Still no Shoulders of Talos or Hand of Talos. He really needs to get those because they keep the Colossus alive like quite a bit. There's the Titan. Talos getting taken out here. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if Joe was like feeding Chemo a little bit of gold on as well. We do see the Arcus trying to get some damage done. Bellerophon can just run back and forth here. Do a jump, run back and forth, do a jump. I guess it does 32 damage with a poke, but the special jump does 100 hack. I'm not sure. I mean, if somebody knows in the chat, do armor upgrades, like specifically weapon upgrades, affect the jump special or not? I think they don't. I think they don't, but I might be wrong. And Bellerophon, yeah, not microing that one the best there. Like I said, just move back and forth. Can retreat now and use the Temple of Healing. If you ever watched any deathmatch, you see Bellerophon is a very valuable unit, 400 gold. So you throw the temple down nice and close, and you heal him back up, and it's actually faster to heal him up than rebuild him as well. So he does take what's the build time? 27 seconds. And I think the Temple of Healing is, I don't know, like 4 seconds, 4 health a second or something. Where is it? 20 HP a second. So it goes up very, very fast, much faster than 27 seconds. And apparently Hagrid says, no, they don't. So no armor upgrades for the special. To see, the vortex onto the Titan Gate, I think, but I missed that completely as I was in my own world. But has been thwarted here. Looks like it's like Joe didn't have enough, but the Titan is coming. I'm going to be seeing some path blocking here. This will have to be the path blocking of the century, though. This is 40%. Seeing the llama caravans, they take a beating as Goldline is trying to move forward through these units here. Let's see if he can make it. Shelty going to be making his own Titan Gate now. See the nice path blocking here from Joe. Oh, but he manages to get out. It looks like the camel caravans not smart enough. And Goldline is going to bash the ground, deal the damage, sees the splash damage, so if he gets a couple of hits onto him, he will make it through. But he's not able to. He's so close yet so far as he is moving in. And if he does not make it to this is a really bad spot for the Titan to be in. He doesn't have the healing upgrade either from Hecate because he's gone Helios. You know, the camel caravans defending this location 78%. But the camel caravans will fall here as they are dying very, very fast. And I think too fast as the buildings. Well, we'll see if he can sneak around. The camel caravans are 4.56 speed. And this Titan Gate, 90% now. More camel caravans coming in. And it's looking like, the town center falls here as Shelty is making some progress. But the Titan Gate, 98%. 99%. And it gets out. It gets out in time as Joe manages to hold on. I think the best idea here, the best course of action is to just sacrifice into the enemy Titan Gate because you might get a free hit. You do get one free hit, or half a free hit there. Looks like it's not quite enough. There is a Pharaoh to help out. Does a little bit of extra damage, but it's probably not going to matter all too much. Meanwhile, we're seeing Goldline pushing in onto the hometown center. As it's looking like Chemo and Joe are crumbling to Shelty and Goldline here. But the mercenary cavalry starting to get built here. The villagers repairing this. Wouldn't be a bad idea to just bring the Pharaoh back over to repair the town center. They've got all of the guard towers up now. So the mercenary cavalry start being very, very weak because they die incredibly fast. And you just don't get built fast enough even with the 1 second train time. They just die instantly. Meanwhile, the Titan does win over here. So 800 HP to come in and clean this up. Probably will be able to do so, actually. However, Shelty has managed to win this on his side here as he's got his own Titan Gate coming out. We see the Titan Gate coming for Chemo as well now. I'm not sure he can survive, though, as the units are pushing forward. We do have the Hand of Towers finally out for Shelty. The Heliopolis pushing forward. And the Titan coming in. Hecagigantes in here. We do see Hero Arcus have been converted in order to try and take this Titan down by pretty fast here. But the towers are up, so if he focus fires this Titan will go down very, very fast. These are doing 2 damage each a second. And there's so many of them. Plus the Hero Arcus doing a bunch of damage as well in their own right. So this Titan not going to be able to clean this up at all. Meanwhile, the fortified town center going to be picked off here as the villagers stop repairing. And Joe taps out. Chemo taps out. Well played. GG by Shelty and Goldline here. Never on the back foot. There was one point here where Chemo almost cut Shelty off gold and had a strong showing there. But Goldline just in front for the entire game. Had 4 town centers for the entire game. And Joe just not able to keep up here against him. And even so, Chemo not able to help him enough in order to get him on his feet. And that was the game. GG, well played. Enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next game.